Hello and welcome! I'm Marcus, and this is part 2 of my childhood drama. Last time we talked about a movie that scarred me for life, so this time around I thought we'd get a bit sophisticated and talk about a book that scared the bejeebus out of me. As a youngling, I very much enjoyed reading, and though I don't do it as often as I wish, I still try and read every now and then, to this very day. And although my reading habits may have changed, one thing that has stayed constant is my love for choose-your-own-adventure books. Now I know what you're going to say. Marcus, are you telling me a goddamn choose-your-own-adventure book scared you as a kid? To which my answer is...
You're goddamn right.
Enter wizards, warriors, and you! One look at this book and you can tell two things. That this book is metal as fuck, and that I really abused the shit out of it. The back is falling off, the cover is torn around the edges, the spine is so wrecked that Bane thought it was the Batman. I was not kind to this thing. But that's because I loved it so much. I've had this book since I was in public school, and I feel like this is what got me interested in Dungeons & Dragons. There are 6 other books in the series, and all of them sound awesome. The Forest of Twisted Dreams, Siege of the Dragon Riders, Who Kidnapped Princess Cerelinda, Ghost Knights of Camelot, which is the book I have, The Haunted Castle of Raven Curse, and Revenge of the Falcon Knight. And holy shit, the first book is written by R.L. Stine? Like Goosebumps R.L. Stine? Awesome! After a brief description of the scenario at hand and the journey you must embark upon, you must make a decision. Will thou be a warrior, clad in shining armor and armed to the teeth with various weaponry? Or will thou walk the path of the wizard, slaying foes with arcane magic and sorcery? It's a big decision, as both play very differently, despite the fact that both characters go on the journey. At the back of the book, you can see what's available to each character. As mentioned before, the warrior has a ton of weapons available to him, whereas the wizard has an entire book of spells that he may use. Both lists have a bunch of information describing the weapon or spell in detail. Now, I've played as both many times, but the one I always enjoyed the most was the wizard. However, as a child, there was always one spell that struck me as odd. The wizard has 12 spells at his or her disposal, but number 10 is an interesting one. Spell number 10. Visions. This spell will cause a foe to start seeing things, all kinds of things, that exist only in his or her mind. An incapacitating spell, it will cause the foe to lose all sight of what is real and what is not. Advanced wizards can even control what visions a foe will see. Sounds awesome, right? Yeah, well, there's a catch. A difficult spell to cast, because it sometimes backfires and affects the spellcaster rather than the enemy. Yeah, you can already see where this is going. There comes a moment in the book where, playing as the wizard, you must choose between using 2 different spells to fight off the ghost of Lancelot, one of which is Visions. You draw your robe tightly around you, nervously, knowing you have chosen a powerful and very dangerous spell. The spell of Vision is one that could easily turn against you, but it is your choice. You must live or die with the results. For there is a 50-50 chance that you, not Lancelot's ghost, will be affected by the spell. If so, you will lose control of your mind and be taken over by horrifying visions. All of this goes through your mind in less than a split second as the spell goes into effect. To find the outcome of the spell, flip a coin. If it comes up heads, turn to page 9. If it comes up tails, turn to page 94. So, I flipped a coin, got tails, and got this. You close your eyes and wait. Was the spell of vision a success? Seconds pass, and you feel fine. You heave a sigh of relief and open your eyes. To a ghastly nightmare. You are no longer at the edge of the forest, facing the ghost knights of Camelot. You are in a deep pit. High above, you can see the sky through a distant opening. Suddenly, you hear sounds, terrible sounds in the darkness behind you. You try to climb the walls, but cannot. Helpless, you whirl to face a horde of man-eating spiders. Off in the corner, one already feeds on the warrior. No! You shriek. No! Madness tears at your mind. The spell of vision backfired. It worked on you, not on your opponents. You are doomed to a life of horror without end. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, the book has illustrations! There aren't many of them, but all of them are fucking gorgeous and very well done. And, of course, this page has an illustration on it. This image of the wizard cowering in fear as the warrior lays dead at his feet, covered in giant man-eating spiders, haunts me to this day. Even though you can barely see his face, you can still feel the horror and terror he feels. It also doesn't help that I'm terrified of spiders. Thank you for joining me for part 2 of this childhood trauma series. Stick around because part 3 is coming up.